Okay guys, so welcome back to the Cooking on a COVID Budget. It's us two, it's me and the Vega. And we're gonna go ahead and make
chili.
Green chili and burritos. So first step here is we've got all the pork. We've got about 2 pounds of pork.
The delicious stuff.
Minced garlic. More garlic, more delicious stuff. Diced tomatoes, refried beans, fresh onion, and fresh chilies too. We are going to make it with flour, not just flour, not to be confused with cocaine.
Dad.
We are going to use this stuff.
And freshly roasted chilies, oh my gosh.
And fresh roasted chilies. Now we're only going to use 1 packet of it.
That stuff's strong.
Because we have to kind of dilute it and make it kind of hot, so we have some kind of bite to it. Because before I made it, and it just didn't really have too much bite, so we're gonna go ahead and use those. So let's go ahead and bring you guys closer.
You can angle it, Dad.
We'll put them like right there.
Yep.
Okay, so first we're gonna go ahead and turn this thing to high. Because we're kind of on a rush, kind of, sort of. Because I want to eat tonight. So, do you want to use that?
With our olive oil, right?
I mean, you could use olive oil, or we can just use the grease from the.
Okay.
From that.
I'm used to using oil, but they'll be.
Oh, we can do oil too.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and open these.
So if only if it starts to stick.
So we'll go ahead and use these. We'll put this in there now. Don't want these in there. These little things, the pork blood tampons, or
Ew.
I don't know.
Like that.
Maxi pads.
Dad.
Yeah, we gotta have fun.
Yep.
The maxi pads for the meat. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start seasoning this stuff before it starts to cook, so it gets absorbed into the meat.
There's more pork in the freezer if you want it.
Okay. And it's starting to sizzle. I'll let the chef go ahead and I'll let the chef here go ahead and stir the stuff and get it going.
I'm a cook, not a chef. There's a difference.
He's a chef.
No.
Grandpa's little chef. Alright, there you go. Go for it. What we're doing here is we're going to go ahead and just kind of cook the meat here. As you can see. Put the minced garlic in there. Do some more garlic salt because we like garlic here. And because we are going to be using onions, we're going to go ahead and put some onion salt in there since it has since it has salt in it. And while that's going, is it starting to stick?
Just a little, so we're going to need a little oil. Good. There we go. There we go.
No, we can go ahead and turn that down. It is on high. That's probably why it's sticking to it, because it's really hot.
That's what it's best onions, right?
So what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and cut the onions up. Yeah. That one? Okay. And I have washed my hands, so these onion skins are pretty tough to cut. And what you always do is you go ahead and take the first layer of the onion off, so you get past the wrapping of it or the peel of it. And if you waste a layer, it's fine, whatever. These whole things have layers, like ogres. Because ogres have layers.
So do cakes.
And so do cakes.
Everybody loves cakes.
Whew, this is a good onion. I got some onion stuck in my eye. So if I cry, don't make fun of me. I'm just a sensitive soul.
Poor unfortunate soul.
Poor unfortunate soul. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of these. Yeah. Okay.
Don't cry.
Alright, so we'll go ahead and we'll basically cut this one in half. And go start cutting it. I just want you guys to be able to see that how I'm cutting it.
Let's just knuckles for it. Because there's a different way of cutting onions.
Knuckles like this.
Watch.
You do it.
This is how I do it.
You do it. Show them how to do it.
You have your hands like this with the knuckles right here. That way you can hold on to it right here. Like that.
I got her to cut the onions.
And I cut so many onions.
Because she's better than I am anyway.
And then you get to the end, flip it over. And then there. The only thing I would tell people is that you don't choke this knife. You have your finger back here so you don't have it all messed up. You always use your rocky motion. You want the whole onion, Dad? Or half the onion?
Just do half the onion for now. I think we're okay with half right now.
Maybe just cut off the ends that were the root of it.
Yeah, I tried.
No, you got close. Now,
Will that fit? Yep, it'll fit.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I said too.
hey, I'm wearing glasses though. All right.
So now that that's cut, we'll go ahead and focus a little bit more on the meat cooking and the preparation for it to be in the stew.
Well, the next thing we have to do is saute the onions so it doesn't feel all raw.
So that was my next set, to go ahead and add the onions. Okay, wrong way, this way. I'll go ahead and add the onions in.
Wait.
So onions are added. Let that cook a little bit. And we're going to be making focus. Focus. I don't know why it got out of focus. There we go. Now, as you can see, it's starting to. And yes, the surface is clean.
Yeah, my hands are clean too. Turn up the heat a little.
So we'll go ahead and turn up the heat. We'll start adding in the flour.
You can't handle the heat, Dad.
You can't handle the heat. Get out the kitchen. And don't be saying nothing about my meat.
Have to wait until it softens a little bit more of the onions though before we put the flour in. Or else it'll be just all raw onions.
Now, my last batch of chili, I did it in the crock pot, and it came out pretty good. It just didn't have any bite because it wasn't like, you know, we had the roasted chilies, but we didn't have the actual chili that has the spice in it. So this one promises to be pretty good.
Especially with fresh chilies, it's even better.
It was really good with the fresh chilies. It's just it didn't really have any bite to it.
There we go. Now we're getting it sizzling.
Now you're cooking with gas.
This is not a gas stove.
And not the other kind of gas.
Ew. It's better than seafood.
Right? I'm on the seafood diet.
I see food and I eat it.
I see food and I eat that crap. Alright.
Well, you had gloves.
I need a bowl to put it in. That'll work. Alright, so now with the chilies, let me rinse this out a little bit further. It does have a little bit of soap in the thing. It just means that this is clean. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll take the skin off the chili, which we need a catcher for. Do we not have a catcher for this for the
No.
sink?
No,
I hate to do it, but it's gonna have to go down the sink.
put it on a paper towel.
I don't know how we're supposed to put it on a paper towel, but hold on, let me see.
That's all right. Bring a plate.
So basically what you do is you go ahead and just kind of strip it off like that. If they're roasted good enough, it'll just come right off. And these seem to be pretty good and roasted. But we still do have to rinse it off. And the seeds come out as well. If you lose seeds, it's okay. Yeah, this isn't going to work. I'll just do this. Like I said, they usually just comes right off. Unless they're in like little pieces and stuff. And just kind of rinse off your chili. Now you will get water in the bowl. That's a given. See how that just kind of came right off? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to Vega and let her go ahead and show you how to add the flour and stuff like that into it.
Because we're just about ready.
so
Now I'm going to start a question.
So give me just a second. Alright, and here you go. There's Vega.
Alright. You have to slowly put in flour because you don't want to overdo it. Because if you do, then you're just going to have a bunch of flour that is not incorporated well. Just stir it in until you see it disappearing. Add just eyeballing it so you can see if it actually has the even coat around the meat, so it doesn't taste all too floury. And plus, it will just be really hard to eat. Add more flour. I'm at that point. Alright, so we're going to transfer this over into the pot and make sure this is warmed up so it doesn't like take forever to get everything else going. While that's going, turn that off. Alright. Okay, now we need water.
Oh, that was the last one, okay.
I don't know what that is. It looks like a vase. Here we go. Perfect. Turn another way from you. Alright. We typically add water until it's getting close to the middle of the pot, so when it comes to the chilies and the diced tomatoes, it'll make it expand more. Not too much water because that'll make it look bad. Alright, while that's going ready, and we're going to wait until this gets to a simmer, which will take a bit, so I'll just go back to my dad shredding some chilies.
Okay, so now all the chilies are deseeded and stripped of their skin. They're strippers. I'm telling you, they're strippers. You never trust a green chili with blue skin. But so now I'm just going through and I'm shredding them. Because if I don't shred them, you know you're gonna have all these chunks of chili, and you're still gonna have some chunks of chili, which is why it's called green chili. But you don't want them to be full chilies because it's just not the way it's made, not the recipe that I was taught. So this is pretty much done being shredded. And I'm sorry in advance for you guys that the scraping of a fork against the porcelain gets to, like nails down a chalkboard, but this is just how I was taught how to do it, and it's never really bugged me. What really bugs me is the when you crease a piece of paper and you run your nail down it, or cardboard when it scrapes. That gets to me so bad. So you guys aren't alone. So as you see, all the chilies are done. Minus a couple pieces of skin on the side of the bowl. We'll go ahead and add this in. Stir it up a little bit. Get it all nice and in there. And now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and add in the tomatoes and get that boiling, and then it'll have to boil for 20 to 30 minutes. But that's not all the chili we're adding in. Okay, guys? Let's bang that out real quick. Now we are going to add these in, so it'll be extra chili. I am not sponsored by them. Kind of wish I was, because then we get free chilies. And that would be great stuff. I just usually open them with a pair of scissors because it's just easier. Add that in. And these are like extra green. I don't know. It just kind of drowns out the dull chili that I just put in. Dull green chili. But that's just the reason why they're dull green is because they were roasted really well. These ones aren't roasted that well. They're just kind of roasted and then flash frozen. So now you can see that. Now, and you can fact check me on that. I really don't know why they're that green. I'm just coming up with excuses at this point for why it's a different color. But now I need to go ahead and open these. And you can add to taste. If you like a lot of tomatoes in them, you could put a lot of tomatoes in them. And you can always go and get fresh tomatoes and cut them up if you have the time. I'm kind of impatient. I want to eat tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and just open a couple of cans of tomatoes and put them in. Now, a funny story about the tomatoes in the chili. When I was younger, I was just like, it's supposed to be green chili. You don't add tomatoes into green chili because it's green chili. Something my daughter and my daughters and my son at the time, because I only had one, used to make fun of me about. And I can kind of hear her kind of snickering over there about it too. Don't laugh at your dad. And now, as you can see, and I'll bring you over here in just a second. That's chili. Now it does need to be stirred in a little bit longer, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut for now, and we'll come back to it as soon as it's pretty much done. It's pretty much done now, but I want to go ahead and just let it boil for a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and come back and show you the rest of it. Show you the end product, and I will talk to you in a little bit. Okay guys, so there is the finished product. Excuse the mess, because there's the cheese and the that and the that and all that. We're about to get down on this, and really I want to go ahead and thank you all for supporting us, supporting the channel. Really does mean a lot to us. I do apologize for the delay in doing another cooking on a COVID budget, but as you can see, it's a much bigger kitchen, And there's a lot better options to be able to go ahead and do things in this kitchen because there's so much room. We're not bumping into each other and being like, oh, excuse me, oh, excuse me, oh, excuse me. So, on that note, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this one here. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy. Make your own pot of chili the way you want to make it. And we'll see you on the next one.